All right, guys, welcome back to the Sooner Storm podcast. Got some guys back with me this week. Got Connor back, got Lane back, so I'm not alone in this today, which is good. Guys, let's just dive right into it. A lot of hot takes from this past week. Obviously, the game on Saturday not going well in any aspect whatsoever. You know, a true OU fan would have kept the TV on. I was one of those people. I don't know why I did, but I did.
Yep.
Early this week, Venables coming out announcing Seth Luttrell, being let go as the co-offensive coordinator here at OU. Big news of the sports world. Joe John Finley is elevated to the play caller, and Kevin Johns, who was an offensive analyst, stepping up into a co-OC quarterback coach role. Um, just initial thoughts, guys, on any of that. A lot of stuff I just threw out there in the first couple of minutes, but I mean that's the hot topic everybody's going to be talking about.
Let,
Yeah. I'll
let me
uh
go ahead. Go ahead.
I'll jump in on that. So first and foremost, the firing of Seth Luttrell. Obviously, we hate it for him as a person. What he's done at the University of Oklahoma, in his career, not necessarily coaching career, um, but a former national champion. His dad's a former national champion at OU, so a lot of history there. Love the guy as a person. Unfortunately, it didn't work out as the coach in this particular position. He was put in a very tough position. The offensive line is not what we've had in the past. It's
One of the worst
struggling.
units in the entire country. I mean,
Yeah, no,
that
they are. I mean, they're extremely struggling. I don't know what's going on that side of the ball. Um, I don't, I don't even think they do right now. And then the unfortunate situation with all of the top wide receivers this year. So he was very limited out the gate, but that's still no excuse. The efficiency hasn't been there, and to go off of that, I feel like moving into Joe John, it's gonna be. Do any of us here expect it to be really any different?
I
I mean,
don't think
honest,
so.
honest take.
I don't think it's going to be much different. Um, he'll try to do a few things that might wrinkle it up a little bit, but if he would have been the guy, they would have put him calling the plays.
Yeah,
I get, and he wasn't calling the plays to begin with, so I just don't think that confidence isn't there. He's just to fill a spot right now until we can find another guy. That's all I think.
it's
100%.
kind of an audition for him, to be honest with you, about, not just not by any means being the guy next year to call the plays, but
Be
really
on
to
the staff.
finally be on the staff. Be honest right
Yeah.
here, like his position probably is one of the worst on the entire offense. The tight end room is
Yeah,
not
And
uh, they've not been productive. They've been one of the most inconsistent groups despite the offensive line. They're always Bauer Sharp. I couldn't tell you the number of times the other day that he did something wrong, screwed something up. I mean, it's
and
and
just
you can
yeah,
guarantee at least 3 penalties by the tight ends per game.
and
he's
that's
one of
since
the
he's been on
worst. Yeah.
staff though. Like, well, I think he was there when Braden Willis was there, so I'll give him a pass on Braden Willis. But
He
I
was.
mean,
He was.
who was with Braden Willis? I mean, that was it. That's all we had.
That
But
was it. And then
since
Stogner,
then,
Stogner. We had Stogner, and then he went to
yeah.
Carolina, and then he came back. But
when he came back, he was not the same
But
player.
his
no,
production was
no.
his production was terrible, and our production this year has been terrible.
Mhm.
Not to mention all the penalties. So
And then just like Connor said, I mean, will things be really any different? I mean, I don't see it. Again, I think he's just kind of filling a place right now, and we're going to try to, limp our way to the finish line this year. Hopefully, maybe try to somehow get the offense sparked, maybe get a few guys back in a week or so. I don't know, and try to, you know,
Yeah,
at this
I don't
save
point,
know.
a little bit of dignity this season. We're still fighting for
Yeah,
bowl eligibility, so I
I'm about to
mean,
say at this point, just try to get a bowl game.
yeah, try to get to a good bowl game.
yeah.
Try to establish a little bit of momentum going towards the off season and into next year. Hey, just
Try
real quickly though, like Kevin Johns. Anybody that doesn't know who Kevin Johns is, he was the co-OC and quarterback coach at Duke under Mike Elko a few years back, 2022-23. He coached Riley Leonard there at Duke when
yeah.
Duke was kind of on the rise. Riley Leonard, under his tutelage, threw for 2,967 yards and about 20 touchdowns. So, the guy knows what he's doing. He's been at Northwestern, he's been at Indiana, uh, Western Michigan, Texas Tech, Memphis. He's been at Duke, and then he's been here as an analyst. So, I mean, the guy knows what he's doing. So, I think having that new face kind of elevated a little bit maybe will help Finley a little. Again, I don't think that much will be different, but just to have that guy there, maybe give him a little boost,
Now,
I think
especially quarterbacks.
I haven't got to follow a whole lot lately because I've just started a new job and everything. So we just brought in a guy. Is that what you're saying?
He was
no,
on
he's
staff
been
as
on
an analyst.
staff.
He's
Oh,
been
he's
an
been on the
analyst.
staff. Okay.
They just elevate when they got rid of Latrell, they elevated him to co-OC slash QB coach. So uh,
Again,
for now,
my thoughts is if he was the guy, you would have had him in there. But
Well, that's the thing is Brent Venables, they have I guess they have some type of caveat in a new hire into an analyst position. You can't be elevated to a higher role within the same year. But Brent Venables did say because of the situation, they were left with no other choice. So this guy comes with, a lot of tenure. He knows what he's doing. I will say one thing for this, and do we even want to discuss the South before we jump into the Ole Miss game? Let's discuss Carolina.
I
listen,
think just real quick, probably the worst first 4 minutes of a game I've seen from any team, let alone,
No, absolutely.
I mean, the first 4 minutes of the game. And I mean, there's not a person alive that watched that game that couldn't tell you that our offense gave that game away in the first 4 minutes. I mean, when you throw a pick six or throw an interception on the very first drive, right? And then you come back out on the field and
Stupid score.
you give up a scoop and score, right? And then you throw another pick that it ends up in a touchdown. So you're down 21 nothing, and it's 4 minutes into the game. I mean, that's tough for any team to come back from, let alone a team that can't produce offensively already.
Yeah.
So the offense shot us in the foot early, got us in some bad positions. Defensively, I mean, did they do really anything against our defense? Not
They
really.
they really didn't. They
I mean,
scored
the
a
one
total of
they had, yeah, I mean, offensively, they didn't do anything. They scored the one touchdown early, but that was just because it was off of a pick that set them up inside the 30
yeah.
going in. So, I mean, quick change situation. I mean, it was a bad performance. I mean, just all
Defensively,
around.
defensively, we only gave up 3 in the second half.
Yeah.
I mean, in the position that they were in, you can't really. I
There's
mean,
nothing, you can't ask your
they
defense
were in a
to do
terrible
that. I
position
mean,
all
they did.
game.
Yeah.
listen. I was playing golf on Saturday morning, um, and I was probably one of the better places I've ever played, down at Ledgestone in Branson, and I started watching that game on my phone, and let's just say my golf game got terrible after that because I was in such a bad mood. Like I was on probably a hole 12, and the next six holes were absolutely awful because
Yeah, I don't blame you.
The
I
I
what,
was I
I
was
had
so
to
mad.
mute.
I debated on even watching it just because I was playing an ice course, and I was like, I'll watch it.
Yeah,
what was the
I
what
got to
was
the point
the
that I had to mute the TV. So
what was the green fee running that day? What was the
Oh,
in Branson? I figure it was a little hefty.
it was steep. It was
Oh, I
like
figured
it was like
Branson.
it was like 150.
Oof, yeah, yeah. That's too expensive for my taste.
It was
yeah.
really nice though. Really
I bet.
nice.
So boys, not a whole lot to
No,
dive into
it was a
against
bad
South
game.
Carolina. Keep it short. It was terrible. It was the worst. It was the worst game I've watched by the Sooners. I mean, I can't even name a
Well,
worse game.
we're diving into you ask all these older generation OU fans that have been
John
around for a
Blake.
while. You're diving into John Blake era. Probably the worst home loss since the John Blake era. I don't remember what the score was in 1999 or 1998. His last year, it was like 47 to
And then Bob
6
Stoops
or
comes
9.
in and wins
So
the Natty.
it's
Always,
kind of
always
funny.
hope.
All these older fans though are saying,
Yeah.
"Hey, you young whippersnappers, now y'all are getting a taste of what we felt back in 1990 through 97." When Schnellenberger and John Blake were here. So
Hey, but then it all took a turn. I mean,
It
uh,
did.
it
we
did.
had a
Oh yeah,
lot of
obviously,
good coaches come through.
we've had a lot of good coaches come through.
Well,
There's no
Lane,
doubt about it.
there's a difference between today's ball and then. I mean, I
Absolutely.
know I know that, obviously players were getting incentivized in some type of way back then, but
But they still,
we can't just recruit off of history and the blue blood that
what?
is Oklahoma. I mean, the game shifted where the depth, on both sides of the ball, for the majority of teams isn't like for an Alabama per se, uh, 5 stars, 4 stars, they might be hesitant to go to Alabama because why should I go to Alabama when I can go to, I don't know, Iowa and start right out the gate and they're going to pay me $1.5 million a year. I mean, it's a different game,
Yeah. Uh,
but
that's a whole
yeah,
different
whole different
topic.
topic.
Oh, the
I
game's
mean,
changed for
we
sure.
could come. I mean, I think eventually there's gonna be a cap. I think
There
it's
should be.
coming.
There should be.
But and it's a sore spot for me right now. I look at all the receivers that we have out and all the guys that I feel like should be playing and that are not. And I'm thinking, man, we're giving precious NIL money away for these guys to be sitting.
Yeah,
So that's another thing. I think that we should.
it's a
Uh,
different topic.
yeah, I think there should be a, hey, you got to play so many games to get this much or whatever, something like that. But like I said, different topic, but it is a different era now, and the guys just don't. The, it's almost you don't play with the pride that you used to, and that's just what the game is now. You don't play for the
The
name.
game's changed for sure.
You don't play for the name on the front of the jersey anymore, um, and that's sad. But I'm
And I think
I'm
there's
just
a lot of
glad
guys that do.
I'm just glad I was able to see, college football when it was a little bit different.
yeah.
Because boy, did we have some really great college football seasons. And it wasn't always the Sooners, but heck, I mean, I loved watching, I mean, any team that was like made it to the end of the season and was just doing good. And you could just tell, I mean, it was just a fun team to watch. But nowadays it's all about, hey, what car am I driving? What am I looking like coming to the game? How can I benefit off of whatever?
Hey,
Kind
It's
of it's kind of funny because I watched the 30 for 30 on SMU getting the death penalty. You know that one, the Pony Excess or whatever it was called. I watched
oh
that the other
yeah,
day. And it's kind of funny now watching that and going, well, now all that stuff's legal. You can all that stuff that everybody was doing back in 1980, they're giving money to players and giving them houses and cars and all that stuff. Well, nowadays all that stuff is practically legal. I mean, you can, athletes can get all those incentives to come to a school. So
yeah.
yeah.
it's kind of funny, now that we're in the era of 2024 and SMU's football program is now back, where it should be, which is, up there competing. But the death penalty killed them for so many years because they were doing illegal recruiting that way. But nowadays, you know,
It's the name of the
that's
game.
that's the game now. But
Well, boys, let's get into Ole Miss. Obviously, there's a lot of changes this week on the opposite side of the ball. I'm hoping to see some type of consistency, and one of the big things that I want to see is let's play to the strength of the team. So obviously our offense is not going to go out there and light up the board every drive. Let's hold on to the ball. Let's maintain time of possession longer. Let's try to chip away and get 3. So we're keeping our defense off the field, 1, and then 2, letting them work with the entire field and not, pinning them on
Yeah.
our own 40. And
Yeah. I mean,
that's
like,
what I'm wanting to see this week.
why can't we just I mean, I know it's easier said than done, but let's get out there and make a few short passes. I mean, 3 yards, 4 yards pass, maybe get a few runs in there and just drive the ball down the field and just be kind of consistent, manage the clock, uh, try to keep the time of possession in our hand, and maybe we might have a chance, you know.
Yeah.
They're gonna have some big plays. I mean, that's just who they are. But if we can get our if we can keep our defense off the field, unlike we have the last couple of weeks, if we can keep them off the field and keep them healthy, then our defense can make stops. I mean, but
Yeah.
we got to have them there, and we can't drive all the way down the field and lose the ball, and we can't. I mean, we can't put ourselves in bad positions for the defense either. But
Yeah.
uh, yeah, I think that we'll see how it
That's what I'm
goes.
hoping to see this week.
Yeah.
I agree with what all you're saying. Obviously, it'd be nice for us to possess the ball long periods of time, drive the field, and then keep it away from that explosive Ole Miss offense. When your leading rusher on your team is only averaging 3.5 yards a carry, that's where it becomes kind of difficult. And again, that goes back
Yeah.
to goes
I don't know
back
if that's play
That's
calling
that's
or
the
offensive
offensive line.
line.
it's the young O line, the inexperienced O line, not getting any type of push.
And
I'll
it's
go back to the I'll go back to the Tennessee game. Branson Hickman, the center, gets just totally bull rushed by the Tennessee nose tackle right there. I mean, gets put on his butt, and I was just like, man, this is another animal that we're playing here. Like we're so used to playing in the Big 12 that we
well,
get to
even
the
the guy,
SEC. I mean,
even the teams in the Big 12, though, like
yeah, we have some,
they would
yeah.
be wrecking us right now.
Oh
Like,
yeah. Well, I
like
wouldn't say wrecking
you
us.
look at
We,
Kansas
we,
State,
we would be
though.
struggling. We
Look
would
at
be
Kansas State. Look at Iowa State. Yeah,
the
we
way our offense is playing right now, we would struggle against, most teams. I mean, it doesn't matter who you're playing. But again, 3.5 yards a carry for our leading rusher, which is Javante Barnes, by the way. But that makes it difficult. Again, agree with all the stuff you're saying. We got Arnold back in the game. He's, he showed some signs last week of
well,
a little
he's
bit of
got to do it
maturity. He
now.
looked, he looked better. Um, I think
Revenge tour.
yeah, I think if we keep him clean and we get him going early with some quick short passes, like you're saying, and we establish some sort of running game, with Barnes, some other guy will have to step up, a Taylor Tatum maybe. Uh, Sawchuk has got a strained quad, I believe, is what it was. So he's not,
Yeah.
not that he's producing anyway, but some
If
guys
I if
will
we don't
step up.
see Dion
I don't even know
Burks
how he's
back this
training squad.
week, if we don't see Dion Burks back this week,
Dude.
I don't know what's
I
going
don't.
on because
I mean, is that
I
guy?
watched. I know Lane, you weren't able to watch the beginning of that, but you turn on the TV,
Oh yeah,
he's
I saw.
he's messing around during pregame, throwing the deep ball, dancing. I'm sitting here wondering what's really wrong with him.
Well,
He can do this, but he's not he's not cleared to play, or he's
I
not.
think I said that like 5 weeks ago. Uh, hey, what
It's a
what what
mystery.
happened to Deion Burks? Why is he out? Is this going to be one of those? Hey, I played 4 games and now I'm going to go transfer somewhere else. And
It's starting to
that's
feel
kind
like
of
it.
what it's looking like. But that's why I'm saying, why are we paying this guy some NIL money if he's going to be sitting on the sidelines? That's all I'm saying. I think it's ridiculous. Uh, I mean, if he's truly hurt, man, I feel bad for him. But again, in the era where there wasn't NIL, those boys kind of grinded. I mean, it didn't matter. I mean,
Yeah, I mean, you're trying to earn it. You're trying to earn that, you know, that chance to, go high in the draft or just
yeah,
get recognized. It's different, for sure, but
I'll err on the side of he's hurt until I, get proof that he, isn't or whatever. But I'll
I
err on.
mean, I don't know what more proof I
Well,
needed
if he's
other than the
not,
pregame.
I don't
if
know.
if there isn't something
Uh,
else wrong, we have a big problem with our staff trying to get players back on the field.
Yeah,
Ole Miss, 20-point favorites on Saturday, obviously.
yeah, no
Highly,
surprise there.
highly, highly decorated offense. Forrest Jackson Dart, the quarterback. This so far this season, 2,384 passing yards, 14 touchdowns, only 3 picks.
Good
Uh,
grief.
you know, Henry Parrish Jr. We remember Quinshawn Judkins left and went to Ohio State, the running back for them last year. They got Henry Parrish Jr. He's got 612 yards, 9 touchdowns, averaging about 5.5 a carry, 5.8, a little more. And their leading receiver, Trey
Trey
Harris, yeah, 987, 6 TDs, average yards after catch is about 16.7. So
Trey Harris might not play this week.
very possible.
He is, yeah, he is on.
Is he on the questionable
Well,
list or
yeah, we'll get the injury report tomorrow. But from what I've
he'll
hearing,
play?
I watched
He'll play.
I was listening to Gabe and Iker or Teddy and Gabe today, and there's some questions if he plays this week. I hope he doesn't,
I hope he doesn't either.
but because
I think all these SEC teams now they're out on a let's embarrass OU as much as we can.
100%.
Which it would make it pretty easy for them. But I think all these teams are out there saying, hey, let's prove everybody on ESPN that said OU had no business going to the SEC. Let's prove them right. Let's
Yeah,
make it a show. And obviously South Carolina did that last Saturday, but it'll be tough. Vaught
yeah.
Hemingway Stadium's a hard place to go play a game at. It's always rough at 11 a.m. kick. And
I'm
offensively,
hopeful.
I'm hopeful too. I'm always hopeful.
Yeah, I'm hopeful that they give me something to be excited about on Saturday.
Yeah,
The past
go in
several
there, light
weeks,
a fire. Just do something different. I don't know what it
yeah,
is. Do something different. Change up your routine. Like just do something different than you've done, and just go in there and shock the world. Get a big win. Like no one expects us to do anything. Go in there and prove everybody wrong.
maybe Billy will get that pick six.
Maybe if he doesn't get out of gas about the 20-yard line and almost get tackled from behind. But
Yeah,
uh, that's about all. I mean, Ole Miss is who they are. Lane Kiffin's always got that clipboard ready to throw up in the air on that, double reverse swing pass to the run, whoever. So it'll be
I would
hard.
expect Lane Kiffin to give us something dirty right out the gate, hit us with a
I wouldn't doubt it at
trick
all.
play, flea flick, something. He's going to do something to be a little,
I wouldn't doubt it.
yeah, I wouldn't put it past him.
Uh, be tough, but like I said, optimistic, hopeful.
Yeah,
Go in there and just our defense keeps playing really well, like they've been playing. Maybe our offense will pick it up a little bit. Maybe we'll go in there and prove a lot of people wrong. And then maybe it's not even that we go in and win the game per se, but maybe it's we go in and we stay with them. We play
we
really
find
tough.
I just want to
we
compete.
find some efficiency.
Yeah, we find something.
Yeah,
Because Ole Miss is a good team. I mean, obviously they're 5-2 and they're ranked 18th in the country. So I mean, they're a good team. It's going to be tough to beat them, especially when they're at home. So not that it can't be done. Any team can be beat, but
no, it can be done. It's just going to
yeah,
take.
it's going to take a lot. It's going to take a lot more production than we've had. So
Yeah,
uh, about 10 minutes left. So
Hmm. I'm trying to find the injury report because I'm pretty sure it's already out.
well, injury report comes out on Thursday,
Thursday, so we
and
won't get any of those.
it'll come out on Friday, I think.
I thought it came out on Wednesdays.
Thursdays, I believe. Thursdays.
Yeah, Thursdays and I think maybe Friday or Saturday morning.
Hmm.
Since we got about 9 minutes left, let's dive into a couple of other games real quick just to get them in. Notre Dame, number 12 in the country, playing on the road, or is this game? It might be a neutral site game. Notre Dame against Navy, who's ranked 24th, undefeated. Notre Dame,
Woo!
13-point favorites. I think it's a neutral
Too
site.
high.
They might be
Maybe.
playing, I think, at Yankee Stadium possibly, or somewhere like that. I'm not
No,
sure. They're
Yeah,
playing new
I think they do, and that's this
Seriously?
is the
I
game
didn't
MetLife,
that
even
MetLife, where the Giants.
MetLife.
Yeah, it's a
Okay.
neutral site, but Notre Dame, Navy. Who you got?
I I was
Give me
gonna say.
Navy.
I think this is when Notre Dame wears their pinstripes.
Something like that, something crazy. But
It's pretty cool.
I'll tell
I'm
you
gonna
what,
take Navy.
you're gonna take
Just
Navy.
because they're hot.
Yeah,
Um,
Might as well.
yeah,
represent the
I,
boys.
yeah.
I
I'm
mean,
rolling. I'm
Dude,
rolling
we
on
all want to see
the.
it. We
I'm
all want to see
rolling
it.
on all the academies right now, Army and Navy. I'm hopeful that both of them stay unbeaten
Hey,
and meet up for 2 straight weeks. That'd be cool.
are you sure they aren't doing like the Connor Stallion? Uh,
I'm not sure.
I
No, I
Oh,
seen that. I
okay.
seen a TikTok about that today.
know. Now
Uh, ne next
I
one,
want Navy as well. So
Navy. Yeah, go for Navy. Next one, Missouri travels to Alabama. Alabama coming off the loss at Tennessee. Missouri goes to Bama. Does Alabama rebound?
they're
Oh, 100%.
Yeah.
100%. They don't lose this game. Missouri hasn't looked good.
I'm
No, they really haven't.
I'm so mad because we're probably going to look terrible against Missouri, but they are not a good team this year. So
They're not as good as they were last year. Alabama 16 and a half. It could be tied early. Bama at times hasn't looked good, but I think this is a
I
game
don't,
where Bama is kind of ticked off about what
yeah,
happened in the
100%.
Knoxville.
Um,
That they put it on Missouri. Uh,
Bama's going to hang as many points as they can on them. Also, Brady Cook did get
yes, that
slightly injured last week.
it'll
So
be interesting to see if he even plays.
if Brady Cook doesn't play, it'll get ugly.
Oh yeah. The game that everyone's kind of been talking about on the SEC network, number 5 Texas coming off the loss to Georgia at home last week, their first loss of the season, travels to Nashville to take on 25th ranked Vandy, who's sitting at 5-2. Vandy last week kind of up and down. They ended up winning. They beat Ball State by 10. They didn't play very well. Just kind of an interesting game. I mean, it'll be interesting to see how Texas, fares on the road.
I
I
I
think
think
it's
Texas wins pretty convincingly.
I think it's close until half, but Vandy's used all their juice for the year.
Yeah, I think it's run dry.
Yeah. I
I love
think,
We
I
got
think,
A&M LSU.
yeah. I mean, the Texas game, give me Texas just because I think they're ticked off about last week how it went.
Oh yeah, it's
Yeah, I think that they go there and they
yeah.
Sark's gonna have them, business, business, business. Let's go take care of business. So
Oh, absolutely.
yeah, number 8 LSU travels to Kyle Field to take on the Aggies. Both teams at 6-1, 6:30 on prime time. LSU A&M
That's a toss up,
Honestly,
man. They're playing at Caulfield?
at Kyle Field. Yes.
I'm taking A&M.
Hmm.
6:30 under the
I don't know.
lights
I don't know.
at A&M.
Give me LSU and give me Caden Durham for a few more TDs.
Gosh,
Give me Texas A&M. They're 2.5 point favorites. Like Connor said, 6:30 kickoff under the lights at Kyle Field. Hard place to play.
it's gonna be electric.
I gotta take the Aggies. I gotta do it. I don't want to do it because I don't like Texas A&M, but
And I think that spread. I think that's accurate. I think A&M by 3.
yeah, I think that
I'm
you're
still
right.
disappointed we didn't get Durham, but that's all right.
Yeah,
Things
would have
happen.
been nice.
Last one. Well, no, let me find another good one because if I say Oregon, who's number 1 ranked, they play Illinois, who is 22nd ranked, and they're six
Dude,
and one. But it's at Autzen Stadium. I mean, that's not
Ill-
even.
Illinois is pretty good.
Illinois is pretty good. All right,
I
why
mean,
not?
Oregon will take care of business.
Did they not
Oregon.
did they not
Oregon's
beat
21 and a half.
Michigan last week?
Michigan, who?
They
Illinois.
did. Illinois
Yeah, they
beat
did.
Michigan this past weekend.
Michigan's
That's
like a
some
roller. They're up and down. They're like a
yeah,
roller coaster.
listen,
Yeah.
Michigan, Alabama, OU, we're all having bad years. It's okay.
I think
Well, I
we're
mean,
having the worst.
We're
Alabama's
probably
year
gonna have a
is
worse year, but hey,
Alabama's year is showcased by running a quarterback sneak and the 2 outside receivers that fake a jump shot like they're
but
playing basketball. So.
at least they're scoring.
They
So
are
Oh, no,
scoring,
they're
so you got to
scoring.
give them credit on that. You got to give them credit on that. Well,
But did y'all see Illinois' uniforms last week?
Yeah, they were sick.
They were awesome. I
Or
loved them. I loved
awesome.
them. I
Yeah.
loved them. I loved them.
Yeah.
Uh,
Give me that being a close game though. But
yeah, it'll be a good game. I think it'll be a good game early. I think Oregon is kind of finding themselves now, ranked number one, 7-0. Dylan Gabriel's playing really well, which hats off to him. I'm happy for him. He's doing a good
Yep.
job. Oregon's just offensively, man, they can light it up. They're good. Uh, so
Yeah, they're a good team. Can't yeah, I mean they can't
and
really deny that.
well, they're ranked number one for a reason. I mean,
Yeah.
uh, so yeah, good group, good group. Hey, real quick, uh, just your first name off the top of your head that you've maybe read about or that you can think about that could possibly be a person on the offensive coordinator search list. Anybody that you can think of off the top of your head for
I mean,
next year.
there's a lot of names that are getting tossed around. I know, a lot of people would like to see the UNLV OC.
Brennan Marion.
Yep. He runs a good offense. It's just whether or not his type of offense can be translated into the SEC. Is it a good fit? Uh, only time. I mean, you don't know until you know. One of the names that I don't think is on the list, but would be comical. Garrett Riley.
No. Oh,
No,
Garrett Riley.
Garrett Riley.
Oh, Garrett Riley.
Garrett Riley.
Is he
he's
still at
not
TCU?
he's not gonna be on.
No, he's at Clemson.
Oh, that's right. He's at Clemson.
Yeah,
I don't know. I don't know if he leaves Clemson though. I don't think he would.
I
I don't think he would, but it would be comical.
Connor, I think me and
I,
you talked about this, which it's not a name or anything, but I do think that man, it would be nice to get more to like a pro style offense, under center, because there are so many times that we're on the goal line and we are in shotgun. Just stop that. Come on now. Let's get
You
under
know,
center.
I'm not.
Let's play. Let's do some nice play action. We can spread it out a little bit, but I would love to find a guy that
A lot of people ask for the pro style, but if you look across the SEC, most teams are running out of shotgun. I
okay.
yeah.
mean, Georgia's out of shotgun, and I'm not saying anything about it. I'm just saying Georgia's out of shotgun, Texas out of shotgun, Alabama's out of shotgun. I'm pretty sure Missouri runs out of shotgun.
Yeah.
Uh, I mean, pro style offense, yeah. I mean, but the type of offense that Brennan Marion runs, I think it would translate well. Um,
It'd be interesting to see.
it
It
would be
all
interesting
stems
to
from
see. I don't
that.
know if they take a
It all
chance on.
stems from the air raid. It all stems from the air raid. So it'd be
Yeah,
interesting.
I don't know if they take a chance on him though.
Brennan Marion, Mike Shanahan, who's the OC at Indiana right now. His name's kind of been thrown around a little bit. He was
Yep,
at James Madison with the head coach at Indiana. He was at James Madison when they got into the FBS ranks.
I like that head coach at
And
India.
Joe Craddock, the Tulane offensive coordinator, who obviously puts it on us every time we play him. So really interesting.
Yeah, I expect them to.
Yeah,
I would like to go after a big name,
yeah.
I
but
mean, I feel like we should. I mean,
Well, we have to. It's got to be
yeah,
a home run out of
it's
it's got to
gotta
be a
be a
home
home
run.
it
run
has to be.
because we might be losing some recruits and we've got
We need a guy that's going
we've
to
got to
bring some
bring
guys
some.
with him.
Yeah. So it's got to be a home run hire because we can't miss again, especially if Venables wants.
Sorry about that technical issue that we had just now. We had a little bit of a technical difficulty. Lane had to go take care of some business, but me and Connor are going to close this out. Uh, Final thoughts? Anything?
I expect it to be it's going to be a tough game all season, or all preseason. Having this one circled towards the end of the year. I mean, it's crazy to think we're approaching the final stretch, but I mean, it was circled on the calendar all year. This was going to be a tough one.
Yeah.
I'm just hoping to see some consistency on the offensive side of the ball, something to get excited about. Keep it close, just to have a shot to sneak out a win.
Yeah.
That's what I'm hoping, and I hope we we do more than just sneak out a win. I hope we win convincingly. Do I see that happening? Probably not. But optimistically, that's where I'm at. Um, it's going to be a tough game for
Yeah,
sure.
yeah, yeah. I'll say this again. I said it last week. You know, we're gonna find out towards the latter half of this year who's a really a true OU fan and who isn't, you
Yeah,
know. And which that's, you say that about every fan base, but we're really gonna find out like when we're going through these really tough stretches right here, we're gonna find out who just says they're a fan and who really is because it's easy. And it's the same thing, with coaching. It's real easy to be positive when everything's going really well for you. It's really difficult to try to remain positive when things are not going the way you want them to. So we're going to find out who's really on the wagon and who, is just kind of 1 foot in, 1 foot out.
yeah.
Uh, but
And it's for the true OU fans right now it's starting to feel like a curse.
it's just,
Um,
it is what it is.
because we're, you know, I love the team to death.
Yeah, it is what it is.
And every Saturday, you better believe I'm gonna have it on. And I'm gonna watch the whole thing, despite, whether, it's good or bad. Uh
I
it's
never turned the channel the other day.
it's
I
it's
never
the
turned.
it's the hand, it's the
Yeah,
hand that we've been dealt.
it is what it is.
And for a long time now, it's been a winning hand. You know,
Yeah, now we're
everybody
starting.
has their
Now we're
stretch.
starting to feel how some other teams are kind of have felt
Yeah,
over the last couple of years. So I mean, it is
at
what
least I'll leave it at this. At least we're not Florida State. At least we're not Florida
it is.
State. Oh my God.
Shots fired. Oh gosh. All right. Well,
Yeah.
uh, big game for the Sooners. They got to, it's gonna be a rough game. We know that, but we got faith. We got faith that
Yeah.
they're gonna
I
go
got
in
I
and
got faith in
we
the
got
guys.
faith. So, um, you know, we'll uh we'll see what we're gonna be talking about next week. If it's talking about a big win on the road or talking about another really disappointing performance or maybe a really good performance, maybe just came up a bit short, but we'll see.
Yeah.
So anyway, this has been the Sooner Storm podcast. Again, guys, give us a like, a subscribe, possibly. Tell your friends. I don't know. Find some,
Tell
find
your mom.
somebody, find somebody that hasn't watched it and make them sit down and watch this. Especially if they like to listen to guys talk about football or OU football, either one. So we
Yeah,
look
just
forward to, yeah, we look forward to seeing you in the next one. And Boomer.
Soner. All right. See you guys.